Life with four boys, coffee, please. This is a post I wrote about, just give me half a second, about meeting some friends for the first time. We've known each other for a long time, but this is how we met, and I wanted to share it with you, hopefully without crying. When internet friends meet in real life. Many years ago, because that sounds very professional when I begin that way, when I was blogging all the funny stories about the boys just to socialize with others and keep myself sane, the title of my blog came across the computer of a pastor in Wisconsin. It was the title, Life with Four Boys, Coffee Please, that caught his eye. Anybody remember that? Soon he was commenting on nearly every post. We began to email each other. If I'm remembering correctly, my husband and I tried to find his church to look him up to no avail because there was many years ago and not everyone had a website back then. We also were all scared of everyone we met on the internet because we were basically brave pioneers in a new world, and how could there be so many people out there just like me? We wanted to make sure Pastor Ron was safe. But as the years progressed and our emails went back and forth, Pastor Ron became an extension of our family in a way. We would mention him like he was our everyday friend instead of what he really was, a guy we had never met who lived in Wisconsin. When we went through a very tough time at our church, it was Pastor Ron who kept encouraging us without him even knowing it. We knew he was praying for us and he loved us, and we knew it as surely as if we had met with him. Eventually, Pastor Ron got on Facebook, and then the fun really began. Jake and Pastor Ron hit it off so much, it was as if they were two peas in a pod. Pastor Ron kept close tabs on the boys as they grew up, continuing to check in on me when I was not blogging. Ron and Joan retired, and as if Wisconsin wasn't far enough away, they moved somewhere where snow rarely falls because they are no fools. We would say in passing how great it would be if we all ever met without ever really thinking we would. But then we did. This summer, when it was full sun and summer was before us, Ron messaged me to get son for Abe's football schedule. It's happening this year, Denise. We're coming to see you, and we want to see Abe's home game. Ron has followed Abe's football love all his internet life. He felt Son 4's woes of not being able to play football until he was ancient, old, and in third grade. He was even known to cheer for Michigan State University, only because he knows Abe's love of the college. And we all want to see how Son 4's plan to attend MSU to play football but not do any college schooling is going to work out. Wait, Abe said, hearing this. He's driving from Arkansas to watch me play football? This is kind of creepy. Ron and Joan were due to arrive in the middle of our busiest time of the season. Jake and I had hardly spoken to each other to discuss what we would do when they arrived, other than we knew Jake was taking the day off of work. I worked until hours before their arrival and spent those last minutes before they arrived doing things I knew I would appreciate most, like making food and making sure the bathroom was clean. My sister kept checking in with me. So you have never met them before and they're coming here again. Why? Are you sure they are safe? Everyone's reaction seemed to be like that, but we were so sure it would be just like we had imagined it would be. Except it was not. It was even better. I was literally jumping up and down in my bare feet by the front door when they arrived, and I would not even accept a handshake hello. It was all hugs. Joan, Ron's wife, was someone I knew nothing much about. I was hoping we would hit it off. I don't know why I worried. We walked in the house, and here came son 3, Eli, to the door. Joan, Ron said, this is Eli, the cross-country runner. How are you, young man? Days later, this moment is still the moment Eli brings up. It made such a huge impression on him. We spent the first moments awkward, all of us meeting the two of them, and somehow we all settled on the back porch where the breeze was cooler than the muggy, hot summer-feeling house that October day, and we spent the evening talking. We didn't take one photo to document this. We all have it as our most favorite part of their visit. Sitting on the porch, talking, waving the motion light to kick on so we could talk just a little longer. Jake, bless him, wanted to show Ron and Joan all the best things Michigan has to offer. I did not know my husband had tour guide in him, but goodness gracious, that man does. He listed some of our most favorite places to go, and I reminded him we had kids to pick up from school at 3. If I ever get a chance to visit Mary, another blogger from the beginning and now family friend, I want to see all the places I have read about her life over the years. And when I went to visit Becca, I still love that Becca and I have that and that I could meet Kara and others. She showed me what her life was like every day. So that's what we did. We drove to the old farmhouse. We drove then to my childhood home, the church where we were married, the church we attend now, the boys' school, our entire village, Mezzo, to meet Sue, because how could we not? And so many other little stops before Ron and Joan retired for a nap, before all the excitement of the upcoming afternoon. When it came time for the football game, the weather, which had been less than stellar all day, was dark and damp, and it misted a cold rain over us. But I could not have been happier listening to Ron narrate the game for me as we watched our middle school team win 64-0. I debated trying to record the game that night. I keep missing all the great plays, and it makes Son 4 Abe so sad. I decided I would start and see how it goes, and later that night when Ron had left and Abe was rewatching it, Abe looked at me with all sincerity and said, "Mama, I can hear Pastor Ron on these. Thank you. Thank you so much." Abe had me make a video of all his best plays and all the best lines from Pastor Ron, and you can see it here. Note, Ron is not the woman yelling, "Go defense." That would be Angie. Ha. We had dinner around the table that night after the game, and it was so amazing to see how Ron interacted with all the boys. He asked them questions that dug for deeper answers. My parents stopped in to meet Ron and Joan, and Jake's mom and brother were also there for the game and met them as well. Ron went out to his car, and he came back with a box full of goodies for us. Joan told us he had been looking for gifts for us for months. We were stunned and touched. My parents were still there, so we took a picture with our new gifts. I wanted Ron to pray over us so badly before he left. I didn't want to miss his blessing over us. And as they said it was time to leave, Ron gathered us in prayer, and without my asking, and with arms looped around each other, we bowed our heads and he prayed over us. Ron and Joan extended a welcome for us to visit with them, reminding us that they had made the trip to visit us. And Joan headed for the door because she hates goodbyes like I hate goodbyes, and told me she would see me soon, either here or up there in heaven. And then they were gone. And then I cried. How can I be so happy and thankful to meet them for real and so sad to see them go? I snuffled to my husband. Even the next morning, I was somber. Eli rubbed my back. "You're still sad, aren't you, Mama?" He rested his head on my shoulder. He understood. I got ready to head out for Bible study and realized if I left early, I could drive right by their hotel. It was hardly out of my way. Maybe I could just say goodbye again. I pulled in, and believe it or not, it's easy to see an Arkansas plate. So I wrote them a note for their car door and sent a quick text for safe travels. I didn't want to seem creepy. I just wanted to send one more goodbye. I prayed as I had pulled in the parking lot, "God, if you want us to meet again, you will do it." I went to put my Shipsy bourbon in gear, and there was Ron. "Denise," he said, surprised, "come to McDonald's and have coffee with us. We're just leaving, and Joan would love to see you again." Hearing Ron and Joan recap their thoughts on the boys and us as we stood in a busy McDonald's by the drink station for a few minutes before we went our separate ways was just what my saddened heart needed. What treasures they are, and what gifts they have been, and they will continue to be to us. The internet gets such a bad rap so often, but it can do amazing things, like bring these two families together. I'm so thankful we had the opportunity to meet in real life, and I'm reminded again of the power of words to connect, no matter the distance between us.